Sorry, our last topic was actually the change for Strade Bianche, which I'm going to admit once again, I say this every year, Benji, I don't know what a monument is.
Yeah, correct.
I don't know what that is.
A monument is a subjective term that was created, I reckon, somewhere in the 80s or 90s for the hardest and somewhat older races, the one-day races, the most important ones throughout the season. And we've got 5 of them. Obviously, if you're watching this podcast, you probably know which ones they are. MSR, Roubaix, RVV, Lombardia, and
Liège.
Liège.
Don't be
Jesus
mean about
Christ.
it. Don't seem well on you, Benji, but come on.
Strade is a very controversial topic, whether it should be a monument or not the last few years. People go back and forth on it all the time, and I feel like Strade is trying to make a bit of an argument of trying to become a monument, which is a difficult process if you think about it. They're adding 4 gravel segments. The race previously was around 200k or just under, if I recall correctly, 184. And they're now adding sector 9 to 12, which is basically, it's not in the first half of the race. Usually the race opens up on Monte Sante Marie, which is like a long gravel section at 130 kilometers into the race. And now we've got 4 gravel segments that are added after that, which is basically Le Tolfe is now done twice and so forth. So that's what you're looking at when it comes to the stage, which means the race is now 214-ish kilometers. So it's longer, it's harder, it could open up earlier, which I would like to see this. I am curious what's going to happen. Strade has already been very difficult in years where it didn't have that. And maybe now it's even harder. And I think quite a few people are going to be like, oh, it should be a monument. But then the thing is, if you create a monument, or how do you decide something's, is that even an official term?
I don't think so.
I don't know if it's even in the UCI rules.
It is. Well, it is by virtue of the points allocated to them since this year.
Yes, but last year, MSR was the same as Quebec, or 2 years ago.
Yeah, but now they have like 1 million, they get like 1,000 points. It's like a grand tour now. They changed it. I'm just checking how much climbing is in it now.
Does that make, because like we're talking about the 1925 winner of MSR. I don't know if the race existed already back then, but he's a monument winner. But the term monument didn't exist yet.
Yeah, I know.
From what I can tell. I think that was after a World War or something that it started showing up, the term. But then I'm looking at Strade and I'm like, is Gilbert suddenly a 5 monument winner? Because if Strade becomes a monument?
Yeah, because he won. If it becomes a monument and he won it before.
Mate, Tish is a monument winner then.
Yeah. Stibar.
It's difficult, huh?
I think if you talk about interest or races I'm excited to watch each year, yeah. I want to watch Strade Bianche more than I want to watch Lombardia. Like, that's just a fact. Well, not a fact. Well, it's a fact in my mind that I do. You can't change that fact. I don't like this change, though. I think chasing some sort of, I don't know, the media deciding you're now a monument or that eligibility, why does it matter? You get a fucking good start list every year. It's a great race 80% of the time, I would say. The Pogacar solo one wasn't that great, but they're still happy that Poggy won the race. It's why are you changing what I think is a winning formula? And the winning formula for this race is, in 2021, you had a group of Egan Bernal, Julian Alaphilippe, Mathieu Van Der Poel, Wout van Aert, and Quinn Simmons, and Gergel.
Yes.
So you now add more climbing to it, 3,674 meters with 2 additional 4-star sectors. I worry that you then make it so that Cancellara, Stibar, Van Aert and Van Der Poel are special beasts, but it makes it harder for those guys and makes it more of a proper sort of more to the climbers, whereas I think it was perfectly balanced how the route already was.
Ooh, I would like to see it like this, to be honest. If we take a look at how do we perceive the other classics? Let's, for example, say that last year's Strade parcours is the tree to this RVV setup. Is how I view it. As in, E3 is a shorter version of RVV, kind of.
Yeah.
Which creates other race dynamics.
Oh, yeah, I see what you mean. Yeah, but that's what I mean, though. Like, then just
I think this could be
best
more
rider
epic
will
as
win
well.
every time.
Like, Strade has never had necessarily issues. There's been a few editions where I was like, oh, okay, this was kind of meh. I'll be honest, last year's edition was not the greatest edition of Strade Bianche either. And I think this might...
No, I thought it was gripping.
Really?
You didn't think it was exciting, seeing if the group would catch Pidcock? I thought it was exciting.
I think it was enjoyable, but I enjoyed the Van der Poel and Wout van Aert Epic editions more.
Yeah, but it's going to have a crack start list this year because of the Tour having a gravel stage.
I enjoy seeing this change. I don't think it's going to ruin the race. I think it's going to be relatively the same. It's just going to be longer and harder.
Okay, we'll see.
And also,
why have they said they did it?
What is that term? It's going to divide the lions from the sheep, or what is that term? The wolves from the sheep?
Yeah, the men from the boys is what people used to say.
Okay.
Chaff from the wheat. Yeah. Oil from water? No, that's already divided. It's insoluble.
Yeah.
I don't know. I mean, listen, it could be great. I think, a lot of these races as well are only as good as the start list and the way the race pans out anyway. So it doesn't necessarily, if you have a bad start list or one rider too dominant, then it doesn't really matter what route you'll have. But it's just interesting to see them doing that, changing it. Maybe they just wanted to make it more epic for the cycle tourists who do the Grand Fondo. But because I don't know what monument status would add to them, like financially. Like, yeah, there's more UCI points, but what would it add?
I think there's an image thing to it. I think there's a start list thing to it.
True. So if there's so many points available, then Van der Poel just does it every year. In theory,
not necessarily for the points, but because
to add
of
a
the
monument to the
reputation of the
Palmares.
race.
If it was a monument, would Wout van Aert do it this year? I don't know if he's.
Yeah, would that be a difference?
I don't know if he's doing it or not, but
he's not doing it. I think he's
if
doing
it was a
opening
monument,
weekend.
Do you think he'd do it? I think he would.
I don't know.
I think he would.
I can tell you. It depends on whether the team sees it as.
No, it's a monument. It's a monument.
If Strade becomes a monument, will teams perceive that as the same level as the other monuments that were before?
For sure.
It's such a difficult concept.
Also, I just remembered, riders in their contracts have monument bonus. They have tiered bonuses, right?
Yeah.
So if you can win a monument, you get a bigger bonus. So it does make a difference. It does. Maybe that's what they're going for. But yeah, let us know what you think about the Strade change. It's still not 250Ks, so maybe it's not meeting the criteria just yet. Maybe they'll keep adding 15Ks every year till they get to 250.